Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I thought I'd do a video on the best full-size crossbow you can get, or my recommendation anyway. And it is the Armex Jaguar, also known as the Firecat, which is the version I bought. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you it and talk about it. I'm not sure how many other videos there are like this, and I definitely haven't ever done a recommendation for the best beginner full-size crossbow. But yeah, I've always rated the Jaguar, also known as Firecat, as definitely the best beginner full-size crossbow you can get. A lot of decent features, very simple crossbow, and I'll explain all that and all of the sort of features it has and ways you can upgrade it if you want to. I'll show you the box first. So the version I got was this one, which is called the Firecat, but it usually comes either in as Firecat or the Jaguar. The version I got was the 150lb version. And this crossbow costs about 90 quid, I think, and it's brilliant for 90 quid. You can get a 175lb version as standard, which I'll explain later as well. Yeah, and it's just a very good, simple crossbow. I'll go over some of the details on the back. So, again, mentioned 150 or 175lb. I would recommend the 150lb version every single time. I'll explain that. You get, as far as I remember, because mine's got some extras and I can't remember if I bought those extra or it came with it. But you obviously get the crossbow, the limbs, the string, the foot stirrup, 2 bolts, and the stuff to put it together, and the sight comes with it. But you can get quite a few accessories. It can come in different poundages and finishes as well. So you get the black synthetic tactical stock, the one I've got. You can get it in camo or hardwood stock, and you can get, and you don't see these very often now, but you can get £40, £105, £75, 80 or £150 limbs. 150 and 175 pounds are easy to get. The others not so much, but I'll talk about those later as well. So the other quick specifications while I'm here: 210 to 245 feet per second, probably depends on the bolts. 12-inch power stroke. It takes the 16-inch 9mm bolts, but can take pretty much any full-size bolts if you're using the 150lb limbs or lighter. 4.8 pounds, so you know, all right weight, same as an air rifle pretty much. 35 inches long, 26 inches wide, fiberglass limb, and aluminium body. So very strong crossbow. As mentioned, it is a reasonably nice light crossbow. You get open sights with it as standard. So that's the front pin there, and the back sight is quite a simple sight. It is adjustable left and right. The sight itself isn't adjustable up and down, but you have a little handle here. Mine's broken on mine, but it still doesn't affect the crossbow. So you'd have a little key here that you turn, and it tilts this arm, and that's what does your up and down for it. The rail here is a weaver rail, so you can also put on any kind of sights. So the crossbow will easily take a telescopic sight. If you do put a telescopic sight on it though, try and make sure it's an actual crossbow telescopic sight, because sometimes they can mess up if they're not, because the recoil is different to firearms and air rifles. And you can also put a red dot sight on quite easily. And it is reasonably easy to get hold of a proper crossbow sight. So both of those can go on that really easily. It has a decent sized foregrip at the front, and you may wonder why these foregrips are so big and why they push down so much. It's to make you avoid sticking your thumb up while you're shooting. So they try and put these handles quite low so that you're not accidentally doing something like that. Foot stirrup there, that's to help you cock it. Mine has got a sling on it, but I can't actually remember if I bought the sling extra or it came with it. But you can buy these slings really easily, and there's a mount here to put a quiver on. I don't have the quiver anymore, and that quiver will hold 6 bolts, so you can actually hold the bolts on it if you want. They're good accurate crossbows as well, and the 150lb limbs are perfect for garden shooting and anything else you'd want it for. As mentioned, you can get 175lb limbs, and I've even got the 105lb limbs there. And both of those are really good. Why I don't really recommend the 175lb limbs though is, unless you're training for it quite a lot, the 175lb limbs can be quite difficult to cock. Now you can cock them by hand, but you'll get very tired and quite quickly, especially if you want to have a day shooting. Even the 150lb limbs will tire you out quite quickly. It will start to hurt your hands if you're not wearing gloves. So it is nice to have a lower poundage limb if you want to do a lot of shooting. It'll put a lot less wear on all the parts as well. You may still be able to get these. They are for sale. It's just I have noticed all of these other limbs they do are quite difficult to get hold of now. But there are options for other limbs. If you do use the 175lb limbs though, you can use a cocking string with it, which I'll explain now. So the Jaguar Firecat actually has a system where you can use a cocking rope, and it even has the inbuilt little groove here for the string to ride on. This is the cocking rope, and basically these two little hooks hook around the string. This part of the string sits in that groove, and then you can pull the handles up to cock the crossbow. So you would have this on the floor, you wouldn't be holding it like this. But you can see the cocking rope system there. It is on the rope. The strings come back here, and then when you pull these, you'd have one in each hand. When you pull it, it cocks the string, and then you just unhook them, and you're ready to shoot. You would obviously have this down on the ground though, with your foot in the stirrup, pulling the strings up like that. So it's nice that it has the groove there ready to take the string straight away out the box. All of the parts on this are nice and sturdy. I've always liked the Jaguar for that. The strings are cheap to buy, so you can get the string really easily. Decent power as mentioned. Very simple. The reason I always recommend a recurve as well, because recurves have so much less to break, and you're only really replacing two parts even if it did break. If the limbs break, you just need new limbs. If the string breaks, you just need new string. Nothing else you really need to do. The trigger is non-adjustable, but you know, you don't really need an adjustable trigger for this. And the safety is ambidextrous. It's just there. To put the string on, you can get these. This is a bastard string, I think they're called. And these are a sort of secondary string that you put on, and then you cock the crossbow with this, and then you can put the string through, and then you release it. So I can't remember if you get that with it, but those are easy to get if you need those. But I can show you a technique how to string the crossbow if need be. Pretty sure you get that with it though. The bolts that the Jaguar will shoot are the 2219s, and I think the 2019s, which are basically 16-inch bolts or bigger. As long as it's a full-size bolt, that will shoot it. If it has a standard knock on it, it'll shoot it. Never ever shoot a pistol bolt out of a full-size crossbow though. But yeah, these basic 3-vaned bolts will shoot fine out of the Jaguar. I'll shoot multiple different types. These ones are slightly thicker than the other ones. Got larger vanes. And it will shoot a broadhead out of them as well. So all of these bolts you can connect a broadhead to, and they'll shoot fine out of the Jaguar. So what I'll do now, I'll show you a couple of clips of myself shooting this, so you can see the accuracy and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a good, decent, accurate crossbow. Yeah. See that there? That's what it would have done if it had hit the bone, chipped all the side off. Right, so as you can see, the Jaguar has some decent power and very accurate. It's a really good little crossbow. So I'll show you some of the accessories you can add to it now. So on mine I have now a stock bag, which in there I've got spare rail lube, you can put a spare string in there, the cocking rope, the bastard string, lots of little accessories, broadheads in a little box. I've got the sling on mine, and the sling just basically screws in and it's already got the holes ready to go, so you don't have to mess around with that. You could have a quiver going across here that would hold 6 bolts. I don't have that. And I've also put a telescopic sight on mine with slightly raised up mounts so that I could use the telescopic sight, and underneath I could still use the open sights. You can also still use the open sights and put a raised up mount with a flashlight on it, which would then light up the rail at night. It would light up your target and the rail so that you could shoot, and you'll still be able to see the rail to load in another bolt. This handle here also has little compartments in it. I don't think it's deliberate, but in mine I've taken that handle off and I've put in there some spare tips, and there's even a spare string inside there. But that's not a standard thing, that was something I discovered. Yeah, there it is. The Jaguar or Firecat crossbow, around about 90 quid, and I would say this is definitely the best beginner full-size crossbow you can get. At a later date I'll probably do a pistol version of this if people are up for it, but I do get a lot of questions of people asking me what is the best beginner full-size crossbow you can get, and myself and a lot of people always say the Jaguar, or also known as the Firecat. Yeah, brilliant crossbow, will last you for years, hardly anything to go wrong on them, and lots of options really for what it is. For 90 quid, I don't think you can go wrong really. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you like the video please. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Definitely subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. I do lots of crossbow content. Yeah, and share it if you want. If you know somewhere you can share it where it'll get more views, please do, because you know that helps just as much as the other stuff. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you later.